let's train 7th chords. Learn their anatomy by heart. Okay, so I got my chalk. This is my garage floor. I got some flashcards right here. I'm gonna flip them over. It's got a name of a kind of 7th chord, and I'll wait for a second, and then you tell me, or you point, which triad does it have in it. Remember that all 7th chords have a triad, and then an extra note on the top that's a 7th, right? So, for instance, if I turn this one over right here, and it says dominant 7th chord, well, what kind of triad does that have in it? And if you answered major, you're right. Okay? How about this one right here? Half diminished 7th chord. What kind of triad does that have in it? The answer is a diminished triad. Okay? Diminished 7th chord. What kind of triad does that have in it? Well, luckily, it's diminished. It's kind of where it gets its name from. Okay? And if you have a minor 7th chord, where would that go? What kind of triad does that have in it? And you'd be right if you said, well, you know, we're guessing that it's going to have a minor triad in it. And the last one is something called the major 7th chord. And what kind of triad does that have in it? Well, it's got a major triad in it. So now before we shuffle these up and do them again, have a look. All the chords have the kind of triad in them that's in the name, except for the dominant 7th chord right there. So just remember, dominant also has a major. But other than that, the name is the kind of triad that's in it. Okay? Let's shuffle up and do these a couple times. And then we'll move on to another part of the chord in another film. All right, so dominant 7th chord, what kind of triad? If you remembered it's major, you're right. Major 7th chord, well, this is all going to be easy now because that's got a major triad in it. Minor 7th chord, well, that's got a minor triad in it. Diminished 7th chord, and of course the half diminished has a diminished triad in it as well. Let's try one more time, and then we will put new stuff on the ground. All right. All right. Half diminished 7th chord has a diminished triad. A diminished 7th chord also has a diminished triad in it. What kind of triad is in a major 7th chord? That would be a major triad. Okay? And a minor 7th chord? That would be a minor triad in it. And the dominant 7th chord has a major triad. All right? Now don't just go, yeah, I got these. Whenever we think about 7th chords, you want to remember that because that will help you tell what we have when we encounter it.